Hello, today we're going to talk about the duo Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. So I want to dive directly into the video without any further ado. So first I want to talk about Shane Dawson in the Tati and James drama. First I'm going to show you guys why Tati made the Bye Sister video and broke up the amazing relationship with James Charles.
I made it as a result of all of the poisonous lies that were fed to me by Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star.
Something that frustrated me a lot was that Shane Dawson edited the whole video, but when he reacted to the video by Sister on his channel, he acted like it was his first impression and everything.
Jeffree began talking to me about how Shane Dawson was a big fan of mine and wanted to meet me, and how I should be involved in their docuseries. Eventually, Shane reached out to me by text. He wanted me to teach him all about makeup. I didn't know much about Shane Dawson. In all honesty, I was looking forward to meeting Shane, so I invited him over to my home to play with makeup and to get to know him. Shane came over one afternoon in April, and I opened up and shared things that I've only shared with my closest of friends. I shared that I had been the victim of sexual assault. He pledged his unending friendship and loyalty to me forever in this life and in the next one. But I thought to myself, why would Shane Dawson, the king of truth on YouTube, be turning against James Charles unless these things he was saying were true? Why would Shane sit in my home and spend so many hours telling me these horrific allegations if they were not true? Shane said that James Charles was a monster and that James Charles was hurting minors. Shane said he was planning to interview victims for the docuseries. He told me that something needed to be done to stop him from hurting more people. Eventually, I started believing what they were saying because they said they had evidence. Shane Dawson didn't just know about my Bye Sister video. He offered to help edit it. He even offered to design the thumbnail and help title it.
What? I'm just like so nervous, like fourth hand.
I know. Oh my god.
43 minutes.
I have a weird feeling. This is gonna be like Dramageddon part 2. Listen. I said James needs. Oh my god, James.
Fuck. We're on high alert here.
Oh my god, is that literally a big cup of tea on the ground? What is he gonna do? What is gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
I kind of want to see how they reacted firsthand when they saw that Bye Sister video for the first time.
So if you're going to go on the internet and cry and heavily imply that there's a horrible human being and everybody can get what it is, girl, sit on the internet and talk about it then.
Hey you guys, welcome to today's video. Obviously from
Holy shit.
My heart is racing.
I know. The fucking camera's shaking, sorry.
Behind the scenes stuff with Rylan, because I know Rylan had an opinion too. He had to. He was sitting there with Shane.
Look at her. She's like fucking, looks like a fucking goddess. She got ready.
Okay, so I'm going to stop with Shane for now because we will move on to the next super fat liar, aka Jeffree Star. I think you guys know how much drama and everything else Jeffree Star had in their life. I mean, racism, super mega fat lies every single year. It's like a tradition almost. Every time Jeffree Star fools us, and we believe them sometimes. And in every apology video that they do, Jeffree Star always finds the words that, oh my god, I'm changed, I'm better now. But they repeat every single one of their mistakes or drama. Some other things I hate about the apology videos from Jeffree Star is that they disable the video comments, which when you're doing an apology video, you should be willing to take the criticism or the forgiveness of your fans, of the assaulted people, of every single person. Like, why would you disable the comments because you know that your acting wasn't really good and you couldn't fool them or whatever. Like, do what's right. I hope by now you guys have realized how much Jeffree Star loves power and drama. He was willing to get down James Charles, who just because was the best beauty channel on YouTube. Something that I think Jeffree Star lied about, but not a lot of people know, was his concealer robbery. Because how on earth, with that much security, Jeffree Star's concealer would be stolen? And also, why didn't he always says, I have footage, I have receipts, I have proof, but he never shows them when he doesn't. But sometimes he does because he really has some proof. But when he doesn't, he just acts it up. And I think the concealer robbery was just a hype for his concealer line. Now I'm gonna show you a clip why I think that.
They hit us really hard. They came in through the roof. It was a very professional job. It was a team of people. And when you watch footage of this stuff, it is so gut-wrenching. They took thousands of Northern Lights. They took thousands of lip liners. And they took an entire shade of concealer. Like, I have 30 plus shades in this amazing line. I am so proud of it. The formula is unreal, and I am so excited for you guys to experience it later this month. I didn't plan on talking about it or showing things off today, but hi, things happen.
So I want to get back in Jeffree Star's apology videos and the body language that they use.
Before even starting off in the video itself, we can see here something that I immediately am disgusted by. During apology videos, it's important to be able to convey that you are not there for you. You're there for the people that you have hurt and for the audiences that have witnessed the harm that was being done, and nothing should be about you in an apology video. And this scene specifically, all of it is just centered around Jeffree. He's got his very shiny gold couch. You could see his twin-like banister, stairways in the background. You can tell that he's almost flexing his wealth in this. He's posed in this very unnatural way. Sure, some people might sit like that, but it doesn't come across as genuine. He's all dressed up and in a pink bathrobe. None of this says, I'm here to be real. It says, I'm here to put on a show, which is, right off the bat, just not a super good tick on his belt. But let's go ahead and look at some nonverbal stuff here.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Now, I've been silent for a very long time. I know that's very rare for me. I've taken a lot of time to do a lot of self-reflection. Now, in the past, I've been very guilty of speaking out of anger, out of frustration.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it there because here's what I'm seeing non-verbally right off the bat. So tonally, his tone has the same tone that I might even be having towards you right now. It's more of a lecture style tone. He's talking to you about something, almost as if you're learning something from him in a lesson sort of way, which is totally fine. Like Vsauce is well known for his lecture style tone, but he's not apologizing for anything. Jeffree has this like almost talking down to you sort of lilt in his words. You can hear it regularly throughout it. And then he also does an interesting gesture here. So anytime that you put your palms up towards somebody like that, 9 times out of 10, now once again, this is just weighing the odds, but 9 times out of 10, this sort of thing is a defensive gesture. It means almost back away or stop, pushing away. So he does that when he's talking about his past, and so he's immediately defensive. He's not coming across as organic, and his tone sounds rehearsed and as if he's speaking down to his audience or to the viewers. All in all, this is a terrible start for Jeffree. It's not ringing anything true. Let's just go ahead and keep watching.
Out of my emotions, I'm so quick to grab my phone and just say whatever is on my mind in that moment without ever really thinking the ramifications of my words, my actions, and for the first time in a very long time, I'm really reflecting on my behavior and mine alone. And I've come to a lot of realizations, and it's been really important to actually understand everything that I was a part of, that I did wrong, and really start a new chapter for myself.
Okay, well, here's what I'm getting from this. I don't know anything about this entire spat that's going on the internet. But what he is conveying with his nonverbal communication, with the defensiveness, the palms out gestures and his tone, the tilt of his head, all of it is conveying somebody who has been lashed out towards by either one or many people. This is always common in somebody who's getting very defensive. I'm not listening so much to what his words are saying. I honestly don't remember what he just said, but so far what he's communicated with his body language is not remorse. It's not something that he's sorry for, at least communicated through his body language and his tone, but it's more so that he's upset that people are getting upset at him. And that's not an apology, that's just being defensive. So let's keep watching.
A lot of time realizing why I do certain things and why I do the things that I do. And today, there are no excuses. A year ago, I did a video called Never Doing This Again, and I meant that. And 2020 has been
a lot of sass on that. Why was there so much sass on that? I mean, anytime that anybody overcompensates that way with that sort of like aggressive sass, it usually means that they didn't mean that. It's a common thing that a deceitful person will do, is overcompensate for something that was promised before and hasn't exactly been held up. So maybe that's what's happening here. Let's keep watching.
Really, really crazy, and I have added to the chaos. When I filmed my video called Never Doing It Again, I meant every word in the video. Did I slip up? Am I human? Have I done some fucked up things? Of course I have. But
of course I have.
Today, once again, I will not be exposing anyone. For everyone saying Jeffree's gonna be coming with the receipts and we all need to get ready to forgive.
No idea what that's about.
It's the opposite of who I am. I know I'm dramatic, I'm crazy at times, I'm outspoken, but at the end of the day, that is not who I am. And today I will—
That is not who I am.
Showing a million text messages and all these things that allegedly are out there. That's not it.
Real quick here, that's not it that he just did here. If you look at his face here, this is this is a face of disgust. He doesn't have a lot of appreciation for the people that are calling him out on this stuff. I once again cannot stress enough, I have no idea what's going on with him. I'm just telling you what his body language is saying. And so far, all that he's conveyed is a lack of sincerity, a big drive to be able to convey a very important and wealthy self-image, disgust for the people that are calling him out. This is a terrible apology video all the way around, and we're 1 minute and 46 seconds in. So this is going really well.
Are entertaining it behind the scenes, but I will not be. I know this may sound shocking coming from my mouth, but when you accept that you are the problem, you can become the solution. And I've definitely put myself in the victim mentality before when I knew I was wrong, and I didn't want to admit it, I wasn't ready to, and I was too insecure. But today, there are no excuses. I'm someone that has impulse control, and I'm fully admitting my flaws, and I hope that people can learn from me. I have moments—
Okay, so this should be commendable. Speaking up that you have flaws, things like that, that is important, and everybody does have flaws and everybody has shortcomings. The issue that I'm having with this is that he's stating it so emotionlessly. There's not an emotional change in his voice. You don't see it play out on his face whatsoever, which I know that he's had various work done on his face, so it's difficult to get a non-verbal read, but it sounds very hollow, if that makes sense. And all of this kind of coalesces together for him to say this. That means that he knows it, and he not only knows it, but also doesn't care too much about it. Otherwise, he would have much more weight behind his words. You could always tell that somebody is very truly apologizing by the emotional weight behind what they're saying. And there is perhaps the instances of disassociating in intense emotional situations to where emotions have been disconnected and it sounds like they're not emotionally meaning it, but this doesn't seem to be that sort of situation, especially with it being in front of a camera, with all of this setup and everything like that. It rings hollow, not disassociated. Let's go ahead and keep watching.
That's where I get fired up. I don't think things through. I don't think about how my actions will affect others while I'm saying them. And when you speak from your emotions without fully processing something, it is one of the most unhealthy things, and that is a very major problem of mine. A lot of people want me to address this situation. And a lot of people were putting a time stamp like, Jeffree, you need to speak on this right now. And I think that we live in a world where people are just...
Once again, weird sass towards the people that are calling him out on stuff. Not needed. I get if you're angry about it, but like it's not needed all the way around. He just seems to be compensating again, and he's making some good points. Verbally, he's making some good points about recognizing flaws in yourself and improving, blah, blah, blah. But non-verbally, I'm still not impressed.
Just so used to doing what people want right away, and that's not good either. I think it's been very important to stay off of social media. I haven't been on in weeks. I haven't read anything, I haven't clicked a video, I haven't seen anything. And it's been really about finding myself again and remembering why I'm here and how my actions can affect other people and everyone around me. I know there's a lot of people waiting for me to address this situation.
I don't know
now,
the situation.
I didn't try to take anyone down. I'm not a villain in a movie. This isn't a Netflix series with a crazy storyline. I know it sounds like it, and trust me, I'm sure I'd watch it as well, but this is my real life. And a lot of things that are happening and being said are false. When someone else tries to take...
Just real quick. The saying goes, you reap what you sow, for a very good reason. It's a very old saying. As you deal out, so you will be dealt. So for Jeffree to be like, oh, this is my personal life, it's because he's set himself up to this sort of situation. This has nothing to do with nonverbal. This is just me being frustrated with somebody who's very full of themselves, making a fake apology towards people that he obviously has a lot of disgust for. I don't know. I don't have any sympathy for him being like, well, this is my life and it's not a Netflix show, it's my life, and who cares? Who actually gives a shit? Nobody cares. If he's done something wrong, which obviously he has, or else he wouldn't be making an apology video. If he's done something wrong, he needs to just own up to it and get over himself. Get off your golden couch and away from your fancy house just to talk to people and explain that you're sorry. And follow it up with actions is one of the biggest things that anybody can do. So, I don't know. Let's go ahead and keep watching. Otherwise, this video is going to be 2 billion hours long.
Someone else down or their career and it doesn't work, you can't just take a few more down with you. That's not how life works. We have to all take accountability for our own actions and know.
I don't use the finger pointing thing like this because it comes across as very aggressive, very demeaning towards people. If you're gonna gesture, always do something like that. This always conveys that you have an upper hand and you're talking down to the person. Now it turns out that he's talking kind of to himself as well, which is fair, but also still there's not a need for this. There's never a need for this. It comes across as scoldy and kind of like you're an asshole. Just don't use this. Use this, use gestures, always try to maintain openness, and he's just not communicating any of that.
One else's, and that's what I will continue to do. And if I don't, please fucking remind me. Now, I know that I've had a very hard time.
I'm sure people will remind him.
And that will not be happening again. Now, did I mix myself up in drama? Did I speak on things I shouldn't have speak on? Of course I did. Did I believe certain things instead of asking the source? Did I get caught up in the hype? Did I do dumb shit? And did I not just simply call James Charles and ask questions myself?
It's with 100%. James Charles, what do you know?
And that is my fault. I would like to personally apologize to James Charles for the words that I've said and for my actions. If I was really close with someone, I should have had the ability to just simply call them and ask and say, hey, these were the things that were being said to me. Instead, I didn't. I let people really gas me up, get me going behind the scenes, and I really fell for a lot of things and I got caught up in the hype. It's disgusting, it's awful.
The victim, he got caught up in the hype. I have no sympathy for this. Getting caught up in the hype of something doesn't excuse you from being a bad person, and I think he goes on to say this in just a second, but that doesn't mean that he had the right to do it in the first place. And in this sort of apology that he's doing, he's showing that he doesn't really care too much about it. He's stating facts. It's almost like he's reading an autobiography of somebody else that he knows, rather than speaking from his own heart, so to speak, from his emotional depth. He's just stating facts of what happened. And maybe this is an actual intentional sort of deal. I don't understand why it would be. Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't come across as genuine. let's go ahead and keep watching. There's a section here that comes up pretty soon that's just straight pure gold, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. We won't watch the rest of it. I think we get the idea of what's going on here, but let's watch until we get to that section.
And none of it should have happened. So James, I am truly sorry for my actions and my behavior. 2020 has been very tumultuous for a lot of us. It has been a very crazy year, and I think that James and myself and anyone involved would agree with me that there are way bigger issues happening on this planet. I know that some people may, Jeffree, you're just saying this as a distraction. Jeffree, no, reality is here, and makeup, drama, and beauty, community, gossip, and tea, it may be entertainment for you, and it used to be for me, but it's my life and it's their lives. And right now, outside of our walls, our world is falling apart, and it's truly shocking. So I'm not going to give you an expose of the beauty community. I'm not going to end anyone today. I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I've never committed a crime before, and I've never been to jail. It's been hard to process a lot of what is being said, but involving the situation, I would just like to say that James Charles, I'm very sorry. Anything else that you guys want to know, it will never be spoken about. You can ask other people. I, just like last year, have fully removed myself.